Hi everyone, welcome back to the Property Finance Podcast, and today I want to carry on our little series of FAQs and talk about timescales. So the question we always get asked is, how long is this going to take? Because everyone's always in a rush, they want to get the deal done as quickly as possible, totally understandable. However, not everyone in the process is quite as speedy or incentivized as you are. So the first stage where it's going to get snarled up is the application process, because no matter how quickly we act or you act, there's going to be some back and forth. So it always takes a couple of days just to get that initial application sorted, detailed down, submitted to the lender. So it's always going to get a bit snarled up there. And naturally, we'll send you a question. You'll take a couple of days to come back. Then when you come back, it might take us a day to sort of get on top of it. And you tend to lose a bit of time there. So that application stage, we've really got to be on it. We've got to be on it. You've got to be on it, exchanging information as quickly as possible. So if we can get through that bit quickly, that takes a big chunk of time back into our sort of control, if you like. Then the valuation. This is where it's completely out of our control. It's completely out of your control. So what will happen is the lender will normally instruct a valuer through a panel manager. It means that the lender doesn't have direct contact with the valuer. So what happens is essentially the lender will go to the panel manager, which might be VAS or appraisers, and they will instruct the valuation, and then that panel manager will panel it out, and then that valuer will then go and do the valuation and return the valuation to the panel manager. What actually happens is the lender instructs the panel manager. They then take a couple of days to actually process it. The valuer then takes a couple of days to make contact. You then obviously have to make the payment for the valuation. Then you have to book in a suitable day. That can take maybe a week, 10 days. Then the valuation's done. Then that takes a week to come back and often is delayed because valuers are so busy at the moment. So again, it gets really snarled up in the valuation process. So again, we have to really be on it. And the way we kind of save time here is by instructing the legals at the same time. So obviously there's a risk that the valuation may come back lower, but you lose so much time at valuation stage that it makes sense most of the time to instruct legals at the same time in order to save sort of losing both sets of time at the same time. So it just makes sense to do everything in one go if we can. But obviously, if you're sort of worried about the valuation, then you may want to wait for that to come back. In development finance, we've also got the QS as well. Again, same process, same sort of snarling up of information. And with valuers and QSs, they really do rely on you coming back to them with information as quickly as possible. So if they ask you a question and you don't come back with the information, you run the risk of it then delaying stuff coming back. The last stage, and this is a stage where it really, really gets caught up, is solicitors. The amount of clients we have that choose a solicitor who is either a family solicitor or just isn't geared up for sort of the speed we want to go at, it really slows things down. I cannot stress enough, and I've done podcasts about this before, I cannot stress enough how important it is to get a good solicitor. And you may decide to go dual rep with the lender solicitors, not always the best idea, but if you get a good solicitor acting for you and the lender, then it can really speed things up. But most of the time people go sole rep, and what will happen is lender solicitor will ask inquiries. Your solicitor then takes time to deal with those inquiries, takes a few days to look over them, takes a few days to send them to you. You then send them back. They then send them back to the lender solicitor. The lender solicitor looks over it. They then send it back. It's just a lot of to and froing. And if you don't have a good solicitor, that can really, really drag. And don't get me wrong, the lender solicitors are just as bad. There are some horrendous ones out there. There are some phenomenal ones, but there are some horrendous ones. So getting a good solicitor on both sides is really, really important. So in terms of timescales, so that's where it can all get snarled up. In terms of timescales, bridging, we're seeing anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks at the minute. I would say probably closer to the 4-week timescale. We can get it done quicker, but I would say allow sort of 4 weeks. Development finance, anywhere between 6 and 12 weeks. Again, I would say we're probably at the 10 to 12 week mark at the moment. But again, we can get it done quicker if needs be. And obviously, there's slightly more cost involved from the valuers getting out a bit quicker, the QSs getting out a bit quicker, the legals working a bit faster. They all charge, obviously, to move a bit quicker. In terms of buy-to-let and commercial mortgages, we're probably, again, at sort of 12 weeks on those at the moment as well. Could be longer, could be a lot shorter. We've got one at the moment, which we'll probably go through in about 6 weeks. It's actually quite a complicated case as well, so that'll be a nice one to get through pretty quickly. They're sort of the timescales that you're looking at the moment. In terms of, I made a comment a second ago about valuers, QSs, and solicitors sort of charging more if they go a bit quicker. I can't stress that enough as well. If you want people to move quicker, they are going to charge you more money. So valuers will charge more to go out quicker. QSs will charge more to go out quicker. Solicitors will charge a lot more to go quicker. So you really need to factor in your timescales. Do you actually need to move as quickly as you think you do, or have you got a bit more time? Because if you really have got to complete really, really quickly, you're going to see that cost skyrocket. So it's worth just weighing that up. But hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of what you're working to. Always talk to your broker about timescales as well. We really appreciate being told up front how quickly you need to move, because it allows us to manage expectations of everyone and assign resources to it as well. So yeah, knowing that up front really helps as well. So hopefully that's been helpful. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one.